The president of Kazakhstan has demanded to ensure annual GDP growth at a minimum of 6%. This task was set during the extended government session held this week under the president's chairmanship. Kassym-Jomart Tokayev has obligated the new prime minister's team to give a new impetus to the economy. The head of state emphasized that the pace of reforms is slowing down, which is unacceptable. What is the task that previous government failed to address, and what is the agenda for the new one? Find the answers in the next report.
The budget deficit is growing, forecasting and financial management are failing. A significant portion of Kazakh president's speech at the extended government session was dedicated to analyzing mistakes and shortcomings in the economic sector. That's why the change in leadership at the Ministry of National Economy and the Ministry of Finance is not surprising. Kassym-Jomart Tokayev emphasized that the new government has a clear goal to increase the economy to $450 billion by 2029. To achieve this, the country's GDP must grow annually at a minimum rate of 6%.
At the same time, it is crucial for macroeconomic indicators to ensure leading growth in the real incomes of citizens. However, to make a qualitative leap in development, thoughtful and decisive actions are required.
The head of state is convinced that today the focus should be on a consistent course of economic reforms. The president has instructed to prepare a special decree on economic liberalization within a month.
This is an extremely important reform that will gradually reduce extensive government intervention in economic processes. For instance, excessive price regulation in the fuel and energy market has led to an increase in deficit and a decrease in the production of certain petroleum products. The government has learned these lessons and the situation is now getting better.
Kassym-Jomart Tokayev stressed the urgent need for Kazakhstan to change its financial and tax policies. The budget deficit has been a problem for many years. It failed to stimulate financial activity in the country. The new tax code is expected to help finding a balance between investor-friendly environment and revenue generation for the budget. Overall, the president criticized the government for its weak efforts in developing a new tax policy.
The previous government countered such arguments by citing additional revenues to the budget, which would replace transfers from the national fund. It must be acknowledged that now the efforts in shaping the new tax code do not meet my expectations. The current task is not to raise taxes, but to increase their revenue. Raising taxes may escalate shadow inflation. Therefore, it needs not to be raised but reformed.
Reforms are also required in investment policy. The president stated that investors, especially those willing to invest more than $50 million, need to receive the full spectrum of support. He mentioned that those with a willingness to invest in the regions are often neglected by local authorities.
At the end of the first half of a year, we will check the results of the investment board's work and subjectively assess the performance of each minister. The scrutiny will be harsh.
Kazakhstan consistently seeks new investors, but the most challenging thing is to use new incomes properly. According to the head of state, the government has all the tools for this purpose, yet they are not fully used, which is why the pace of reforms is slowing down, as stated by the president. Daurian Sagulov, New Time.